melts my foolish heart in every single scene. Although I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of sad about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool, girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of her first affair. Will it ever cloy this odd diversity of misery and joy? I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because I'm mad about the boy.
Hey there, need anything?
The women of New Vegas ask me a lot if there's a Mrs. New Vegas. Well, of course there is. You're her. And you're still as perfect.
Hey there, need me?
All the latest news coming your way right now. The death toll continues to climb around Camp Forlorn Hope, where Legion raiding parties are still chipping away at the NCR's hold south of the dam. Also in the headlines, Prem formally sworn a new sheriff today. RNV reporters were on hand to hear the new sheriff address the crowd.
Howdy do, folks. I'm Sheriff Myers. Be good, or I'll shoot you dead.
And that's the news. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
Just everything to be my own true love. If this is a dream, let me keep on dreaming. Let it be
Hello? Please
until the moment we met, I had no one to cling to.
Valid facial pattern detect.
Be just everything to be my own true love. If this is a dream, let me keep on dreaming.
How How may I serve you, mistress? How may I serve you, mistress? Of course, of course.
To the town of Alfrio rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around.
You have been warned.
He's an
Please make it.
and running came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though he was 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks
How
around.
may I serve you, mistress?
Was in Arizona, ranger wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead, and he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death.
Hello, Mrs. Millis.
About to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red had not cleared leather for a bullet fairly ripped, and the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip.
Of course.
Big iron on his hip.
Don't let me kill you.
It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one dip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, big iron. When he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her, she kissed me, like the fella once
serve you, mistress?
It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?
How may I serve you, mistress?
Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning, I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better, or I'd be sick. Tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. New Vegas here. You're all so great, and we're gonna keep you listening all day. It's just about time to get you some news. The influx of displaced residents to the refugee camp at Bitter Springs has caused a strain on rations there. NCR officials are asking for donations. Also in the headlines, Caesar's Legion continues to fortify its position in Nelson.
Hello, Mrs. Millis.
Where it remains a constant concern for Camp Forlorn Hope and the nearby town of Novak. This program was brought to you by Gamora. Gamora. It'll be our secret. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
Valid facial pattern detected.
You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
Third floor access is for exec. Thank you, ma'am.
Heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end. Heartache number one was when you left me. I never knew I could hurt this way. And heartache number two was when you came back again. You came back but never meant to stay. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end. Heartache number three was when you called me and said that you were coming back to stay. With hopeful heart I waited for you not long ago. I waited but you must have lost your way. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end.
This is Mr. New Vegas fanning the flames of your passion. If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment. A hostage crisis between the NCR and the Great Khans was resolved peacefully when a third-party negotiator successfully secured the hostage's release. One more story for you. Unconfirmed reports say NCR's General Lee Oliver may have uprooted from his post at Camp McCarran in order to be present at Hoover Dam. NCR sources say that holding the dam against Caesar's Legion has become their main strategic priority, and this move would not be unexpected. We'll have more news for you at the top of the hour. And now, Nat King Cole reminding us what really matters with Love Me As Though There Were No Tomorrow. Because in New Vegas, hey, you never know.
Welcome, sir or ma'am.
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Take me out of this world tonight. Take me, make me forget my sorrow. So when I wake tomorrow, I'll know our love was right. Kiss me as though it were now or never. Teach me all that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love
You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
Don't ever let me go.
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress? Does jumping... Yes!
Hello.
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever
You're back.
let me go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. New Vegas. Thank you very, very much for listening. If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment. Rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge to the northwest. If you should find it, do not, repeat, do not belittle a super mutant for taking the bunny slope. Also, traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. You know they say that no news is good news, but I think my program would be awfully dull if that were the case. Got some Dean Martin coming up, talking about the greatest feeling in the world, love. Ain't that a kick in the head? Sure is. Dino, it sure is.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Like the fellow once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If
Whoa there, pal. Now that I've got your attention. Whoa, simmer down. I've made some cash from gambling. There is a way. Well, I know the secret to get past. If you make it back alive.
Of course there is.
Okay, here you go. I'll be here watching.
Still as perfect as the day we met. Whoops, better put on my newsman fedora here. Word out of Camp Golf is that many NCR Rangers can expect redeployment in the near future. One anonymous soldier said it was part of a new strategy. Also,
Hold it right there. How the hell did you survive that bombardment?
position in Nelson, where it remains a constant
Are you even human?
Camp Forlorn
Move a muscle now and I'll blow you to pieces.
town of Novak. Well, that's all I have for you.
Then just stay where you are.
Vegas, wishing
I'll take this from here.
like
I'm Raquel, Master at Arms.
you know, sometimes the journey beats
Follow
the
close.
destination, and especially if your spurs go
Welcome, child. I've been waiting a good 5 years for an outsider to come along and visit. Those howitzers of ours, except I'll send word to the spotters to let you come and go as you wish. You picked a good time to stop by. Raquel could use it, or you come and...
Hey.
And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, though I may have done some fooling,
Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick.
I got spurs that
Yep.
jingle,
Here are your caps.
jingle, jangle, as I go riding merrily.
You drive a hard bargain.
They sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? And that song is so very far from wrong. Oh, I got spurs that jingle,
I
jangle,
got spurs that jingle,
as I
jangle,
go
jingle.
riding merrily
As I
along.
go riding merrily along.
Oh, ain't you glad
And they
you're
sing,
single?
oh, ain't you glad
And
you're
that
single?
song ain't so very far
And that
from
song
wrong.
is so very far from wrong.
Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never I got spurs that jingle,
I got
jangle,
spurs
jingle,
that jingle,
as
jangle,
I go
jingle.
riding merrily
As I go
along.
riding merrily along.
They sing, oh, ain't you glad
And they
you're
sing,
single?
oh, ain't you glad
And
you're
that
single?
song ain't so very far
And that
from
song
wrong.
ain't so very far from wrong.
You're making me carry. You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
Welcome back to the Mr. New Vegas show. The show within my opinion, which I respect, the best looking audience around. Somebody prove me wrong? We've got some news for you coming right up. Listeners have been unable to pick up radio broadcasts from Black Mountain recently. Most are calling the static, quote, a welcome improvement. Also, Tom Pops Hotel owner Benny has been killed by an unidentified assailant. His former right-hand man, Swank, consoled mourners.
If I know my pal Benny, he's swinging with the big cat upstairs as we speak. Or he's chasing some angel broad with cans as big as our halo.
Promotional consideration for this news program has been paid for by the Ultralux. The Ultralux. Live life in the lap of luxury. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
Hello? Found the missing patrols? They were all dead then. I suppose I'm not surprised. But we must turn our minds to other matters. When I sent out those patrols... When the patrols failed to return, we assumed the worst, and sent a single communication to the scouts to hold position and maintain radio silent. I want you to contact those scouts and gather their reports. When you find them, tell them you're my representative, and ask them if the bears are still hunting. Return when you've gathered all of their report. Have you had any luck finding the scouts?
To the town of our free rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip.
Things have been a lot better since you... She said, what? Why didn't she just say so? You see, you promised... I can't thank... Rex, this is your new master. Protect her as you would me.
He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
Personal space meaning anything to you, lady?
There lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red. After Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the thing to win. The big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
If I die,
knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still about today. Texas was not little for the fairly rip, and the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. Big iron, big iron. When he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip.
When an irresistible force such as you meets an old immovable object like me, you can bet just as sure as you live, something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. When an irrepressible smile such as yours warms an old implacable heart such as mine, don't say no, 'cause I insist. Somewhere, somehow, someone's gonna get kissed. So on guard, who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I'll try hard, ignoring those lips I adore. But how long can anyone try? Fight, 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 fight it with all of our might. Chances are some heavenly star-spangled night we'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
And we're back. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. All the latest news coming your way right now. Several unidentified aircraft were spotted flying over the REPCON test site by a local crackpot. He spoke to a toy bear near one of our microphones.
It's ghouls, I tell you. Religious ghouls in rockets looking for a land to call their own. Don't you laugh at me. I know a spell that'll make you show your true form. Cave Rat taught it to me.
Also in the headlines, a package courier found shot in the head near Good Springs has reportedly regained consciousness and made a full recovery. Now that's a delivery service you can count on. And that's the news. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. 'Cause I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle, as I go riding merrily along. Jingle, jangle, and they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? Jingle, jangle, and that song ain't so very far from wrong. I go right merrily along. They sing, oh, ain't you glad to jingle, and that song is so very far from wrong. Oh, I got spurs that jingle,
I got
Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never got spurs that jingle,
I got
jangle,
spurs that jingle,
as
jangle,
I go right merrily along. Oh,
and they sing, oh, ain't you glad
and
to
that
jingle?
song ain't so very far from wrong. It's so very far from wrong.
Trouble.
Welcome to Jacobstown, human. And if you're NCR, docks inside the lodge. Such as was a resort pre-war. I figured us mutants needed a place to call our own. One of these days, I'm hoping we can trade with the rest of the wasteland. Was part of a super mutant army. Long story, so here's the short version. The Master thought he could unify everyone. Town was Broken Hills, a bunch of super mutants, humans, and ghouls all living together peacefully. We were looking for a Gek to save the village of Arroyo. Eventually, we did. We went separate ways after that. I went east into the Rockies. Don't know what happened to my friend. A lot of bad blood between super mutants and humans. Me? I don't really have a problem with the NCR. Set their sights a little too high sometimes, but they try. Kaisar thinks he can change human nature. Most of the Legion is following Kaisar. Might not happen overnight. Might take a few decades, but it'll happen. They expand. Fast. If you got land they want, they'll take it. They keep rolling over people. Not really. Heard it's a paradise in the wasteland. Amazes me people would come from all over the waste to throw away everything they've got in that town. Seen them grow from a single town, Shady Sands. Nightkin suffers schizophrenia from the stealth boys they're always using. While they're in town, the Nightkin aren't allowed to have stealth boys, so their craziness doesn't get worse. Trouble is, the Nightkin don't like being visible either. A lot of the mutants here found out about Jacobstown because of Neo. Same as any civilized town. See you.
And call for a mass quote, return to sender. The news has been brought to you by the Vicky Advance Casino. Vicky Advance, be our partners in crime. Have you ever been in love with a celebrity? Now come on, you don't have to be shy. I feel it between us two. Sometimes you can't help being mad about the boy.
Mad about the boy. I know it's stupid to be mad about the boy. I'm so ashamed of it, but must admit the sleepless nights I've had about the boy. On silver screen melts my foolish heart in every single scene. Although I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cat about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of will it ever fly this odd diversity of misery and joy? I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because I'm mad about the boy.
You think Marcus could get us some miniguns? Another human. One was enough.
Welcome back.
Bother someone else. Humans are always staring at things. It is different. Right now, I'm...
Between the NCR and the great finally resolved peacefully when a third-party negotiator successfully secured the hostage's release.
Huh. I'd heard there were new people in town, but I thought it was more super mutants. Most of the time, I'm Dr. Henry's researcher. I'm also handy with tools. And once in a while, I venture down into the valley to trade the Big Horn or hide. Let me...
NCR citizens, quote, the devil in disguise. He added he didn't want to see the NCR in the ghetto and called for a mass, quote, return to sender. Promotional consideration for this news program has been paid for by the Ultralux. The Ultralux. Live life in the lap of luxury. You know, sometimes the journey beats the destination, and especially if your spurs go jingle, jangle, jingle, and you meet some nice gals along the way.
Yippee-yay! Oh, wedding bells for today. 'Cause I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. Jingle, jangle. As I go riding merrily along. Jingle, jangle. They sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? Jingle, jangle. And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell. Though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never fell. 'Cause I got spurs that jingle, jangle.
Give me a shout if you need anything else.
As I go
Prospectors looking for salvage, usually. The great cons come this way once in a while. Thank you. Changed names and jobs every decade or so. Never really done much science stuff till now. Bye.
I keep hearing about some courier making a fuss over at the Strip. Must have delivered more than just mail. I assume this is about something important? It's neural degradation. Biomed. I haven't left Jacobstown in years, but there was... Aside from her, I know that the Fiends and Caesar's Legion fight alongside dogs. The Nightkin have varying degrees of mental instability due to... I'm currently investigating the local Night Stalker population. I've also gotten my hands on a working Stealth Boy Mark II prototype, but that experiment is riskier. The stealth field has been modulated to use less power and thus last longer, but for some reason it... However, these pronounced effects will allow me to pinpoint exactly what parts of the brain they're affecting. Unfortunately, I'll need to run the test on a live subject, and Marcus has encouraged me to investigate the Night Stalker mutation first. It's possible, but I've yet to see any hard evidence or hear of any... its negative effects. Because Marcus asked me to, and because it's a reason for me to get up in the morning. I'm not convinced that the Night Stalker mutation is a natural one. Some of the super mutants have looked around as well, but they've come back empty-handed. Lily might be interested in coming with you. She's lost a few of her bighorners to Night Stalker. I've compared the brain chemistry of a Nightkin to one of the local Night Stalkers we killed. Now, I'm not claiming that Night Stalkers are running around wearing Stealth Boys, Mike. I prefer the solitude, and having a bunch of super mutants around tends to keep things safe and quiet. Yes, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and each and every one of you is wonderful in your own special way. This just...
So, you're back.
Word out of Camp Golf is that...
Dr. Henry, as for your request, as for the price for this favor...
It was part of a new strategy. One more story for you. A
Hooray!
shot in the head near Good Springs has reportedly regained consciousness.
So, you're back.
Full recovery. Now, that's a delivery service you can count on. That's all for now. This is Mr. New Vegas saying...
Got a problem. Could use your help. Been having trouble with NCR mercs harassing the town. Guess I can't say for sure if they're NCR. Killing our bighorners, shooting at the lodge, that sort of thing. You're human. They might be willing to listen to what you have to say. I'm not asking you to kill them. Thanks.
But you're so warm inside.
Our business is with the Muties. Just doing what I'm paid to do. Harass the Muties until they leave or attack us. Either way, the job's not done. Won't name names, but some important folks in the NCR are sick of Muties attack. Maybe this group had something to do with the attack. I've always known when to fight and when to back down. My men and I are leaving.
What if you go? What if you stay? I love you. What if you're
Something on your mind?
You can be
Good. Glad you didn't kill them. If NCR or anybody else is smart, charismatic, a hell of a mean streak. He's got a lot of pull with Nightkin, though. He talks, they listen. Keen is saner than most, but I know he's thinking of going his own way again. He's aggressive, impatient, can't stand sitting around. Because of a promise, one I haven't been able to keep. Nightkin have a hard time being seen like normal folks. Can't stand it. Miserable situation. They either stay here and suffer, or dig up stealth boys and lose their minds. That happens, there's a good chance other Nightkin will follow. Worse, if Keen and the Nightkin tear up the Mojave hunting for stealth boys, most humans can't tell the difference between mutants. That's like saying Caesar and Kimball would listen to each other.
like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar.
Is there something else I can do for you? Very well. Show me. All right, let's see here. If I transplant this brain... Have a seat. Is there something else I can do for you? Promising, but I won't be able to synthesize the drug anytime soon.
What's up? Why does everyone always say that? Okay, then I guess I'll be back at the 188.
Jimmy! Little Jimmy! My, how you're grown up! Oh, Jimmy, don't you go being silly now. Oh, of course I have, dearie. How silly of me. I didn't take my medicine yet today. I watch over the bighorners. They're sweet, gentle creatures, but sometimes they get ornery. Ooh, stalkers always carry my big orders. Heavens to Betsy, but Mr. Benny met a nasty end. Such a curious little munchkin, aren't you? Oh, someone wants to hear Grandma's story. I grew up in Vault 17. I never even saw the sun until I was 75 years old. Yes, Leo, I'm getting to that part. They made me one of them, and they put me to work in an army that was going to conquer California. A spy, sometimes an assassin. I killed a lot of folks for the Master. Oh, he was a nasty man, dearie. You don't want to know about him. Leo is a very bad man, Pumpkin. He tells me to do things, terrible things. Well, of course there is, dearie. This old thing? Oh, I scavenged it off a wreck in Klamath. Leo showed me how to make it all ready for... What do you need, sugar?
Hotel owner Benny has been killed by an unidentified assailant. His former right-hand man, Swank, consoled mourners.
If I know my pal Benny, he's swinging with the big cat upstairs as we speak. Or he's chasing some angel broad with cans as big as our halo.
In other news, merchants are saying that there's been little contact between traders from Nipton in recent days, causing concerns that the isolated town may be in trouble. These headlines were brought to you by Vault 21. Vault 21. Everything's better when you experience it in a vault. You know, sometimes the journey beats the destination. And especially if your spurs go jingle, 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 and you meet some nice jumps along the way.
As I go right merrily along, they
desert.
Oh, I got spurs that jingle,
I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.
right merrily
As I go riding merrily along.
Oh,
And they sing, oh, ain't you glad
and
to
that
sing?
song ain't so very far
And that
from
song
wrong.
ain't so very far from wrong.
Oh, Lily Bell, though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never mind. I got spurs that jingle,
I got spurs that jingle,
and
jangle,
that go
jingle.
right merrily
As I go
along.
riding merrily along.
Oh, ain't you
And they sing, oh, ain't you glad
and
to
that
sing?
song ain't so very far
And that
from
song
wrong.
ain't so very far from
wrong.
Welcome back to the program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I hope I'm not coming on too strong. Well, you know what that means, folks. Time for some news. Tensions are brewing in Freeside between the ruling gang known as the Kings and the large number of NCR squatters seeking refuge there.
So the Reds finally hit us, just like I always said they would. Vegas is still there as far as I know, but that probably won't last long. Didn't get accepted into one of the vaults, so I did the next best thing and had this place built. Got massive debts, but who cares now? That's every man for himself now. Had to take care of the Paulson boy since he knew about this place. These supplies are for me and nobody else. There's a woman and her daughter up in one of the rooms of the lodge. Might go pay him a visit tomorrow. A man's got needs.
Restaurants find the food appealing, but say many tables remain empty. Those were our top stories. More classics coming right up for you, so stay tuned.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie. Millions of hearts have been broken just because these words were spoken. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I.
Hey there.
It's a sin to tell a lie.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you, honey. Oh, you got sense enough to know it's a sin to tell a lie. Whole lot of heart is done been broken. Just over a whole lot of foolish words.
Give me a
that's been spoken.
Is there something else I can do for you?
Yes, I do.
There's still power, but the casing is cracked. More importantly, this explains why my research into this group of Night Stalkers hasn't come up with a cure. There's only one avenue left for me. I need
When you say I love you.
possibly immediate and permanent metal damage. There's a reason the Stealth Boy Mark IIs never got beyond the prototype stage. Lily already has a pre-existing condition. Lily is eccentric, certainly, but I've never felt she was dangerous. More importantly, she asked if she could... I've told her about the risks. I'll be waiting.
Hello again, dear. Of course, dearie. I know it's dangerous.
The equipment is hooked up and ready. Very well. All right, power on the stealth boy, Lily.
Turning it on. Feels strange. Strange, but good.
Interesting. Try thinking aggressive thoughts now. Think about smashing a rat scorpion.
Lily smash! Yeah!
How are those readings looking, Calamity?
Stealth field is unstable and scrambling things. The reading says gamma wave activity is 0. But that can't possibly be right. Gamma wave activity is 0. That can't be right. Must be a result of the interference.
All right, we're done here. Go ahead and power the stealth boy down, Lily.
Oh, I liked having it on.
I'll get back to you on that in a moment, once I've analyzed the results.
Well, well, congratulations on getting the Mark II prototype functional, Doctor. Now, just hand it over and we'll be on our way.
Keen has never liked me. If anyone can talk him into backing down, it'll have to be you.
My request is perfectly reasonable. Give us the There are caches of stealth boys out there, with the Mark II in hand. Our lives are... The stealth boys we use have cumulative adverse effects on our minds. Instead... No, I didn't. Not until now, anyway. Very well, Truman. You've made your point. So many staring eyes.
Nice work with the Nightkin. I've never seen anyone able to talk their kind out of anything once they had their mind set to. I got a lot of useful data from the experiment, and am a lot closer to a cure than before. It's occurred to me that this brief test might not yield a cure anytime soon. I'm close to the cure. I can feel it. Permanent damage to her mind is a certainty. That's brilliant. Simple yet elegant.
Hello.
It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't another kick in the head.
Is there something else I can do for you? Promise me.
Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the
Hey there.
Bother someone else. Dr. Henry.
Said, quote, ain't that a hole in a bowl?
Bother.
My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning.
Hello again, dear.
This is just to be
Let it be lovely, dearie.
my life is gonna be
Hello again. here.
Telling me we'll be wet. She's picked out a king-size bed.
What?
I couldn't feel any better, or I'd be sick. Tell me quick. Oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick. Ain't love a kick in the head?
The women of New Vegas ask me a lot if there's a Mrs. New Vegas. Well, of course there is. You're her. And you're still as perfect as the day we met. Whoops, better put on my newsman fedora here. Traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. Also, residents and squatters in Freeside are overjoyed after waking to discover that the area is being supplied with electricity from an unknown source. The preceding segment was sponsored by the Silver Rush. Silver Rush. Feel the rush of a warm laser in your hand.
Hello? Hi, are you there? I've picked up some unusual chatter regarding your robot. This is Lorenzo.
Could you bring your robot to one of our patrols so they can examine it? I'll have the robot mark the location on your map.
Hi. Sorry to break in. He sounded truly riveting. I don't want to keep you much longer. I'm with the followers of the apocalypse. We're much more liberal about... Bring your robot to us. We'll see that whatever information it may have...
Big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here.
Hey, you're the one who's...
with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In this town there lives
Thank you for coming.
by the name of Texas Red.
I've heard through our channels that it has some research that may be related to Enclave. I'd like to get what I can from it and use that data for the good of humanity. First, I'm going to pull off whatever log data I can. Shouldn't be more than a few days' work. The Brotherhood is all about keeping technology to themselves. They are isolationist and belligerent. There are plenty of people here to talk to you about us and our mission. Thank you.
Hey. And he said it didn't matter. He was after Texas Red. After Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red.
Come to Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs.
But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead.
Make a brief stop at the Atomic Wrangler, where the booze is cheaper, the tables more...
Would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to
That
meet.
prick, Benny.
It was
Yeah, they
20
come.
past
Welcome
11
back,
when
friend.
they walked out in the street.
For the right caps.
Folks were watching
All right.
from the windows, everybody held
Great.
their breath. They
I've
knew
got
his
it.
handsome
Just
ring
to make this
was
clear.
about to meet his death. About to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped.
The Atomic Wrangler has you covered.
Come to the Silver Rush for all your guns, weapons,
Still talked about today. Texas Red and not red leather for a bullet barely ripped. And the
Personal
Rangers
space mean anything to you, lady?
the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have won living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron
Patrolling the
on his
Mojave
hip.
almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. To the town of Outfield rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Thomas
He came
Hildern.
riding from the south side, slowly looking all around.
No, they wouldn't have briefed you, would they? Probably better than Vault 22. All right, straight to the point. I believe that the inhabitants of Vault plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends them. No. Find the reason for this miraculous growth. Good. No need to check in with the NCR authorities. Vaults typically contain a server room on a lower level where they would have backed up their research data. A computer room, you understand? Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy. I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. It's a simple question of retrieving the data. Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy.
Was in Arizona, ranger wouldn't be too long in town.
Did Dr. Hildern... this real... I shouldn't say anything. I know that. There were a lot of mercs. Then about a week ago, there was a scientist, Keeley. She's unusual. Not the sort of person you'd expect. And he didn't mention her? No, wait. I don't mean to see any harm come to Dr. Hildern. Unless by talk, you just mean talk. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich. Not by any means. But I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keeley and make sure she's safe. I had a good feeling about you. Right.
Yes? Something else you needed? I never said you were. Fair enough. Begging your pardon, but this is No, you aren't the first person I've sent to the vault. I'm sorry that I neglected to tell you. I'd have to consult my records. 8, 10, you're... I have no evidence that they're dead. They could have changed their minds and walked away. I wouldn't be much of a scientist. You want certainty? You'll never find it. Take my advice. Forget about Williams. She's a talented... Now, I know your time is valuable, so I... Yes? Something...
It was early in the morning when he rode into the town.
Hello.
He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around.
A pleasure to meet you.
He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of... It was early in the morning when he rode into the town.
A pleasure to meet you.
He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
Did Dr. Hildern...
In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead.
Yes?
He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24. And the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more.
All right. I'll admit that it's been difficult to find anyone willing to enter the vault. You have a deal. I'll double your reward. Now, I know your time is valuable, so I won't waste...
He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red. After Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death. To meet his death.
This reminds me of when I was...
There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red and rock leather for a bullet fairly ripped. And the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip. when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
The women of New Vegas ask me a lot if there's a Mrs. New Vegas. Of course there is. You're her. And you're still as perfect as the day we met. We've got some news for you right up. Listeners have been unable to pick up radio broadcasts from Black Mountain recently. Most are calling the static, quote, a welcome improvement. In other news, refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pain. The news has been brought to you by the Vicky and Vance Casino. Vicky and Vance, be our partners in crime. Here's Bing Crosby reminding us of those times when you absolutely have to kiss the person you love. Something's gotta give. Up next.
When an irresistible force such as you beats an immovable object like me, you can bet just as sure as you live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. When an irrepressible smile such as yours warms an old implacable heart such as mine. Don't say no, 'cause I insist. Somewhere, somehow, someone's gonna go on guard. Who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I'll try hard, ignoring those lips I adore. But how long can anyone try? Fight, 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 fight with all of our might. Heavenly star-spangled banner, we'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
Welcome back to the program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I hope I'm not coming on too strong. It's just about time to get you some news. Caesar's Legion continues to fortify its position in Nelson, where it remains a constant concern for Camp Forlorn Hope and the nearby town of Novak. One more story for you. A package courier found shot in the head near Good Springs has reportedly regained consciousness and made a full recovery. Now that's a delivery service you can count on. Those were our top stories. Have you ever been in love with a celebrity? Now come on, you don't have to be shy. I feel it between us two. Sometimes you can't help being mad about the boy.
must admit the sleepless nights I had about the boy. On silver screen, he melts my foolish heart. So I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the past above the door. Lord knows I'm not a fool, girl. Diversity of misery and joy. I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because I'm mad about the
Welcome back to the Mr. New Vegas show. The show with, in my opinion, which I respect, the best looking audience around. Somebody prove me wrong? It's just about time to get you some news. Patrons of the Ultralux are questioning whether its pricey restaurant, the Gourmand, is overstating the fullness of its wait list. Those who claim to have dined at the restaurant find the food appealing, but say many tables remain empty. In other news, refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was paid. Promotional consideration for this news program has been paid for by the Ultralux. The Ultralux. Live life in the lap of luxury. Got some Dean Martin coming up, talking about the greatest feeling in the world, love. Ain't that a kick in the head? Sure is. Dino, it sure is.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her, she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Completely black. I hugged her and she hugged me. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just to be, I got it gonna be.
Christmas compilation coming out soon. Nuclear Winter Wonderland. Look for it on holotape. All the latest news coming your way right now. NCR officials at Camp McCarran were relieved when technical difficulties with its monorail line to the New Vegas Strip proved easy to fix. One anonymous official told us a serious mechanical failure would have been a disaster because of the age of the train and the scarcity of the replacement parts. In other news, a hostage crisis between the NCR and the Great Khans was resolved peacefully when a third-party negotiator successfully secured the hostages' release. These headlines were brought to you by Vault 21. Vault 21. Everything's better when you experience it in a vault. In New Vegas, we know the pain that numbers can bring us. Well, so does Guy Mitchell, who's got heartaches by the number.
It's medicine time now.
Heartache number 3 was when you called me and said that you were coming back. With hopeful heart, I waited for you, knocked on the door. I waited, but you must have lost your way. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end.
It's me again, Mr. New Vegas, reminding you that you're nobody till somebody loves you, and that somebody is me. I love you. More news for you. Caesar's Legion continues to fortify its position in Nelson, where it remains a constant concern for Camp Forlorn Hope and the nearby town of Novak. Also in the headlines, Prem formally sworn a new sheriff today. RNV reporters were on hand to hear the new sheriff address the crowd.
Howdy do, folks. I'm Sheriff Myers. Be good, or I'll shoot you dead.
Well, that's all I have for you. This is Mr. New Vegas wishing you ladylike luck tonight. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
Be sure it's true when you say I know. It's a sin to tell a lie.
Took your sweet time.
I'll know our love was right.
Ah, she's such a dear. But that's neither here nor there. These plants have gotten completely out of control.
It were now or never.
Good. Meet me on the second level.
Teach me all that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go.
What's this? Saves me time, I guess.
To the town of our Priya rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too
Good,
much
you're
to
here.
say.
Time is of the essence, so I'll be brief. This place is filled with spores that are toxic to humans. I've pumped the vault full of a highly flammable gas. The gas becomes semi-inert on exposure to oxygen. I need you to find the vents where the gas is being pumped and ignite it.
In the morning when he rode into the town, he came riding from
Yes,
the south
there'll be an
side,
explosion when the
slowly
gas is
all
ignited.
around.
Good.
He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24. And the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona, ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take and he said it didn't matter, that he was after Texas Red. After Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death. About to meet his death.
Ah, good. You survived. Now all that's left is to ensure that none of this ever happens again. I've managed to create a connection to the vault's backup system from here. I just have to remotely delete all the files, and we're done here. Indeed. This should only take a minute. That's strange. The system says that the files were accessed recently. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? Yes, that sounds like something he'd do. Those files need to be erased. Hold out your arm and I'll have it done in a flash. How do you figure that? I suppose the data here could serve as a warning to other scientists. Tell them what paths of research not to follow. All right. You convinced me. Take the files back to that buffoon. You make a good point. But I still honestly hope you know what you're doing. I've unlocked the door, so you're free to run along now. Although it pains me to say it, I wouldn't have made it out of here without your help. If you're heading back toward McCarran, don't mind me. I have to wrap things up here. Gather my gear, that sort of thing.
It's Mr. New Vegas letting you know I've got a new Christmas compilation coming out soon. Nuclear Winter Wonderland. Look for it on holotape. Well, you know what that means, folks. Time for some news. Tops Hotel owner Benny has been killed by an unidentified assailant. His former right-hand man, Swank, consoled mourners.
If I know my pal Benny, he's swinging with the big cat upstairs as we speak.
Hello again, dear.
With cans as big as our halo.
Such a...
Also, NCR officials
Isn't that sweet of you to fret about me? I don't mind fighting, especially to protect you, dearie.
One anonymous official told us a serious...
Dr. Henry calls them antipsychotics. I don't know what they're supposed to do.
Of the replacement party. Today's headlines were brought to you by Prem. Prem, the other New Vegas. More classics coming right up for you, so stay tuned.
Keeley just called in. You should have heard the director. She wouldn't let him finish a sentence. Just reamed him. Thanks for keeping her safe. Of course. Keeley's brilliant. When you've lived as long as she has, you get defensive around new people. Who wants to make a... I couldn't get her to say, but she talked about the war. So I'm guessing pretty old. Like a Brahmin and a Deathclaw, though I'm not sure which would be which. Bad analogy. Keeley hates Hildern. She says he's more politician than scientist. And Hildern hates Keeley because... well, because every time they meet... The director? He's not what you'd call warm. Unless he wants something from... Most of the time I focus on the science and try to forget him. He doesn't get mixed up in any actual work. He sure does. Everyone knows it. I've just got to endure this job until the project is finished. But abandoning Keeley, he crossed a line. Taking credit for other people's work is one thing. If Hildern tries to recruit any more mercs, I'm gonna warn them. My father used to say good things about them, but that was years ago. Back when they teach... Nowadays, they've changed. They're doing what they can to discredit the NCR, give us a bad name with the locals. Dr. Hildern trained with them years ago. Right.
I received a pleasant call from Dr. Keeley. Wonderful. Excellent work. I don't see how that's relevant. The dangers of the vault were your business, not mine. I think Williams' decryption algorithms seem to be working. Yes, here it is. The data is mostly uncorrupted. This will make the...
Here then, as promised. Your concerns are perfectly understandable. We aren't some motley band of vault alchemists.
Oh, I got spurs that jingle,
I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. As I go riding merrily along.
Hello again.
Oh, ain't you glad
And
you
that
single?
song ain't so very far
And that
from
song
wrong.
ain't so very far from wrong.
Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never fly. I got spurs that jingle,
I got spurs that jingle,
as I
jangle,
go
jingle.
riding merrily
As I
along.
go riding merrily along.
Oh, ain't you glad
And
to
they sing,
single?
oh, ain't you glad
And
to
that
single?
song ain't so very far
And that
from
song
wrong.
ain't so very far from wrong.
Welcome, Sir.